We didn't forget about you guys. Episode 280 of the Morning Skate. Your host, Ked. I'm joined by my co-host, Brownie. Brownie, what's going on, man?
We're back, baby.
We are back. Buzzing. I went out of town for a couple weeks and little R&R, right as the end of the season, right after the deadline, because I'm an idiot. But no, had a great fucking time, dude. Back home, ready to fucking pod. Lot to talk about. What's going on with you?
Yeah. At one point when you were away, I was like, do I just reach out to Fink and Jenks and do a pod and
future reference? Fucking do that. Like if that's
I didn't want to do that without
you
talking.
Can though, because I think
I would have talked to you about it, but I was like, I thought it'd be funny if I just did it, and then you were like, "What the fuck, Brownie?"
Well, I'm glad we're back, dude. We have a lot to talk about hockey wise, a lot to talk about, a lot of things. But before we get into anything, I want to give Kenton a shout out. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been really trying to grow our YouTube channel because I think it's like a pretty good opportunity to get some people in there. So Ken's been firing off all these graphics to clean it up, make it look nice. And for people who don't know who I'm talking about, Ken is the guy who pretty much does all things design for us. Like he's just
Bellwood Creative, right?
He's our creative director.
Meanwhile, I know you're gonna pump him up, but let me just say this: if you look at his Instagram, where he lives is unfucking believable.
Really,
he lives in, I believe, I'm gonna get this wrong. I think it's in Jasper, Alberta.
Yeah, do you have his address for the listeners?
No. But his Instagram, it's just like he's driving home from work and there's like bighorn sheep on the side of the road and stuff. It's crazy.
He works. He's just always busy, and I'll text him randomly, and that fucking guy gets back to me like within 3 minutes. And if he doesn't, I start worrying and like making sure he's okay. Like I remember there's one time I was getting
back to you. It's because you forgot about the time zone difference. Is probably what it is.
No, and so anyway, I've been trying to grow this YouTube channel. I want our podcast to get bigger. I think we created some new playlists. So like we made Howlin' with the Huskies.
Howlin' Huskies.
Yep.
We call it Tales of Howlin' Huskies? I don't know.
Well, if you guys are interested, you go over to our YouTube. We have a playlist right up there, and you can watch all the interviews of all like the sickest fucking women's hockey players going right now. Sure. But one thing I wanted to do is we have our podcast, but then I saw these like weird hockey videos I thought sucked and didn't have had a lot of views on. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, let's start doing shit. So I put together a Trouba fucking hit clip, put together a Lindgren like reel for him coming back. Send Ken everything. He gets it all uploaded. Fucking sick. So I've been doing this, and I was like, Brownie, what do you think of the video? I think the first one you liked, and then the second one I sent you about Ryan Lindgren, and you responded. You're like, yeah, that's just Rangers propaganda, or like something like that. I thought it was funny. I swear to God, dude, I texted Hal like maybe 5 minutes after the same thing. And he said, I watched about 5 minutes of this before I realized it was Rangers propaganda. Word for word. I was like, so Brownie told you to tell me that.
No, I haven't talked to him.
Like, no, he didn't.
Have not talked.
But yeah, we have a couple of Rangers ones up. I can work on other ones. The reason why we have the Rangers one up is I'm kind of doing this and sending it to Ken, where like if it was a Bruins thing, I would do it. I just don't know what hits. Like with Trouba, I know exactly what hits he threw. With Lindgren, I know what plays to kind of pull up. So if you're doing like kind of highlight reels of a certain player, I feel like you definitely need to watch that team. And I don't know.
That's fair. So what I'm hearing is that when we finish recording, when I see my wife tomorrow, because she's already probably asleep, I say, listen, I get this big project that Ked assigned me. I have to get super high and go on a deep dive on Bruins highlights and put together a video. And she's just going to roll her eyes and walk away.
You know what you should fucking do? The video you should make is Jerome McGinley Boston Bruins highlights. That should be your first video. Like Jerome McGinley greatest Bruins moments or something like that.
I could just do a Jerome McGinley one. Doesn't have to be Bruins.
That would take forever. Ken would be working on that for maybe 15 days.
Ken would love that because he is. Oh no, he's an Oilers guy. That's right. He's on the wrong side of the line.
But anyway, shout out to him. 5 minutes
man.
And he earned every second of that. So let's just dive in, man.
Man.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
We only really have one Mea Culpa. We have some updates on stuff. The Mea Culpa was caught in real time about Pete Frady's fucking my fault entirely. So sorry. to his family. I got that so wrong.
We even gave you the opportunity to be like, no, it might not be. You doubled right down. You're like, no, it's fucking right.
Well, I always think I'm right. That's my curse and my gift. But yeah, so shout out to him and his memory. Hope it lives on for a long time. And he did a lot of good before he left us. So shout out to him. So do you remember we talked about the Chiefsaholic, the super fan that was robbing banks to finance him going to games?
Yeah.
He got on a bail and then immediately cut the ankle bracelet off and took off. And there's $1 million bounty on him because he had to get out to cash his winning bet on the Chiefs. Yeah, it's insane.
So he's like the modern day, like what? Like wasn't Billy the Kid an outlaw? Like is that kind of?
Billy the Kid was definitely an outlaw, but I don't think Chiefsaholic has killed anybody like Billy the Kid. He's just a bank robber.
True, but I think, I mean, he's a modern day outlaw. I just kind of wanted to tip my cap to him for that.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Really into it.
And he's on the run. You remember those idiots that were stuffing the lead weights in the fishing?
I saw this, dude.
Yes, they've lost all their prize money, and neither one of them can have a fishing license for the next 3 years.
Dude, the one guy had to give up a $100,000 fishing boat. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, they're lucky they're not in jail for grand larceny or fraud.
See, here's the thing, man. If I was doing a tournament and I was like kind of a scumbag, like these guys were, right? I would do that, and I would think the only repercussions that would come from that would I would just wouldn't be allowed to do it again.
Well, the real repercussions were from the other fishermen. If those cops weren't there, I don't think those guys. I think they might have got beat to death right there in the parking lot.
Probably, dude.
Yeah, people take it seriously. I have literally been on a boat. I got to be careful. I have been on a boat because I don't know if there's statute of limitations, but I have been on a boat.
No, hold on. Your friend's been on a boat.
Yeah, I had a friend on a boat that I heard there was you make a slick, a chum slick.
Yeah.
Right. So they were tuna fishing for a big tournament, and they had a slick, it's a good half mile long. You can see it because it's a different texture. And someone came in behind them and was working their slick.
Really?
And over the radio, there was some talk about violence, and a handgun was produced and discharged on the open ocean as hey, we're not fucking around.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Damn, dude.
So, yeah. Man, you get outside of 5 miles. It's international waters. Everything goes.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then there's two things. One's not on here. I just remembered. I forgot to put it on. So this piece of shit coach at Harvard. There's been some more. The Athletic is on it now, which Boston Globe's been on it. The Athletic's on it. They had 10 players in the last 2 years transfer not transfer. They had 10 players over the last 2 years quit the team.
Yeah.
At a D1 program. That's crazy. Insane.
Yeah.
So good for them to keep on this. So I'm glad. Oh, and then my last one. So this is a shout out to Ken Lusk. I hope I'm saying that right. He's a Bruins fan from Sudbury, Ontario. And I post my blogs in the Facebook groups and stuff, and that's how he and I have met. We've never met, but that's how he and I have corresponded.
Oh, cool! You have a morning skate buddy, dude.
So he got me this.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I fucking see it. You're getting presents.
Well, I sent him a check. It's a maple syrup. It's a glass Bobby Orr full of maple syrup straight from Canada. From Sudbury, Ontario.
Fucking sick, dude.
So he had the drive to go get this.
Sudbury Bulldogs, dude.
Are they Sudbury Bulldogs?
Or Sudbury, yeah, dude. Isn't that Letterkenny?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Sudbury Saturday.
Yeah,
night?
I thought it was the Hamilton Bulldogs, Sudbury Wolves.
Yeah, but I'm talking Letterkenny.
Yeah. Sorry. So my wife and my sister-in-law were making fun of me. They're like, so you just threw away $50 or whatever it was, and I go, no. I mailed a check to this guy, and he sent it. They're like, he's never going to send it to you. So when this thing showed up, I was like, you know what I mean?
Are you going to use it?
I don't know.
Here's one for you. And this,
if I had two, I definitely would use one.
I think you use it, but when you're done, when there's no more syrup left, clean that shit out, and then it's your responsibility to go buy a nice fucking syrup somewhere and fill that up with it. Like a reusable Bobby, or like that's kind of a flex, dude. Someone comes over to your house, they're like, "Oh, I want some pancakes." You just pull that fucking thing out, and you're like, "Yeah."
Oh, dude, my daughter eats pancakes like her life depends on it. We'll be going through this Bobby Orr thing every other day.
Well, maybe that's like the special syrup. Like you get like the special.
Yeah. Oh, I could get like a infused syrup, maybe.
Just wow.
And speaking of friends meeting people that through social media or whatever. So my dad down in Florida he works at the Home Depot. He's like the water filtration guy, like a part-time gig, like, hey, you want help cleaning your water or whatever.
Right.
And some guy was walking by his little area and had a Bruin shirt on. So my dad was like, "Oh, you from Boston, blah, blah, blah." Starts chatting him up. And guy saying I was a big hockey fan. My dad goes, "Hey, do you ever listen to the Morning Skate, the podcast?" I hand to God. And the guy goes, "I listen to every episode." And my dad was like, "Oh, my son's Brownie." And he was like, "What?"
Fucking way, dude.
Yes, that's pretty cool, huh?
That's
so hey, so to whoever that guy is who talked to the water filtration guy in the Home Depot near Tampa, because of course my dad didn't get his name or anything. Shout out to you and thanks for listening.
I love that. Stick taps.
So, yeah, there you go.
We got a lot to talk about.
Jump in, bro.
Yeah, let's do NHL in the news. You're opening it up with something that,
what?
Only in sports, dude. April 1st, 2023, for the first time in NHL history, there are 5 shutouts and 5 hat tricks on the same day.
Isn't that crazy? And I verified this because I was like April Fool's, right?
God, I hope somebody's fucking with you. I
hope so too. It'd be funny as hell. Oh, my daughter is now old enough to figure out April Fool's. If you weren't away, we would have done it to you also. We lined up bottles of water on the stairs, and we were calling people on FaceTime. Help, I don't know what to do. We have water coming down the stairs. And then show them. She thought it was hysterical. That shows you my humor level. Yeah.
Love that. Guess what I don't love? Everything that's going on with the Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh, fucking morons.
Chuck Fletcher is out as GM and president of hockey ops. That lasted a while. The Flyers have shit the bed as of late, further adding L's to Fletcher's tough resume in Philly. Under Fletcher, the team has gone 141, 145, and 43 with just one playoff appearance since 2018 in the COVID bubble.
That's horrific.
That's crazy. So,
that's 5 years.
Let's say a team goes 20, 18, and 5. Technically, they're above 500, but in my mind, they still. I don't know. Or I think I completely did that wrong. Never mind.
No, that was right. Your math was right. They're above 500, but it's not a great record. And I'm not saying not everybody expects what was the stat the Rangers game just had? They've won 11 out of their last 15. You can't, or the Bruin season. Those are the dreams, right? To have that, but you want to be at if you're talking 30 games, you don't want to be 15 and 15. No, you want to be 22 and 8, or 20, 24 and 6, something like that.
Yeah, just brutal. At the time of his firing, the team sat 26 overall with a dismal 24, 30, and 11 record, minus 44 goals. On top of that, the Flyers did nothing at the trade deadline. They named Danny Briere interim GM with an eye to having 2 people fill the roles of GM and president of hockey ops. After dropping the first 2 games after Fletcher was turfed, combined 10-4 score, the Flyers then won the 2 of their next 3. I see that Tortorella is letting his assistant coaches run the bench. Shout out to Taze Thompson's dad.
Yeah, Rocky Thompson.
Thompson was behind. Did you see the shit he said?
No, I did not.
So he called them married out. He's like, yeah, it's tough to win when you have people in there that just don't care. And I guess he was
a tough fucker.
Everybody is saying it had to
do with Taze, if you're listening, I mean that completely complimentary.
Yeah, and everybody was saying it had to do with Kevin Hayes. Shocking.
It's amazing to me, right, is the knock. Kevin Hayes has, no matter what happens, he is the whipping boy, right? If they're
when
good,
there's smoke, there's fire, dude.
No, I understand that, but when the team is playing well, he doesn't get the credit. But when the team's bad, he's the first guy everybody points at.
Yeah.
Was it like that for him in New York? I feel like it was.
Sorta.
Yeah.
His
brother got.
He just has an arrogance about him. He just has this fucking.
Yeah.
I was hoping as he got older, that would go away, but he's got that fucking. What have you done that's making you this cocky?
I have no insight into either of the Hayes brothers except watching them play. Like I don't like some guys, local guys, like I'm like a step removed. Like I know someone who knows them, stuff like that, but I don't have any of that with the Hayes.
And then more Philly Flyers. Looks like Danny Brier's son.
Kind of Philly, but it's related.
Yeah, in a video from a bar in Erie, Pennsylvania, Carson Briere, who's a junior at Mercyhurst, member of the hockey team, was seen pushing a woman's wheelchair down the stairs. The woman wasn't in the wheelchair. Just want to get that out.
Yeah, make sure that's clear. Yeah.
The woman was in the bathroom at the time at the bottom of the stairs, had to be carried down to the used facilities. That's why her chair was unoccupied at the top of the stairs. Briere is having a solid season in Mercyhurst after coming over from Arizona State a few years ago, where he was dismissed for the team violating team policies. As of Tuesday, 3/21, both Briere and Patrick Carosi are being charged with second-degree misdemeanors of criminal mischief, criminal conspiracy, and disorderly conduct.
Listen, I saw the video. What kind of fucking shitbag do you have to be to push a wheelchair down the stairs?
Brownie, here's I'm just going to argue this really quick, right?
Sure.
And I think you can relate to this with me. I'm not saying we need to go back and forth with the stupid shit that we did that when we were kids.
Exactly.
But we both can say, hand up, when you have a fucking couple drinks in you, I don't know about you, but like I would headbutt walls. Like I would do stupid shit. I don't think in his mind he was thinking, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen to the wheelchair girl if I push this wheelchair down."
You don't
I think he was just fucked up, and he's like, "Hey, boom."
Maybe, but do you? All right, so at a small bar,
you think drunk at a bar, this kid's going to go up to a wheelchair and be like, "There's not a wheelchair person in it, but I bet there will be, and I'm going to fuck with her." No,
I'm sure that wasn't the intent. I'm sure that wasn't the intent. But in a small bar in a college place, a wheelchair is very noticeable in a bar. Because
I think so, but
the seat has to part around it when she's maneuvering, right?
Yeah.
And if she was carried down those stairs, that had to take at least two people.
Yeah.
So it was not a subtle thing. And they were sitting in it for the longest time, and then just to push it down, like it's just stupid.
No, it's 1,000% stupid. Like I get that, but again, I'm not saying the shit that I did when I was younger, but I did a lot of shit when I was younger. Where if I was on a camera, I would be fucked, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I get that.
I think my biggest gripe with this is that, like, I don't know. I just feel like he definitely made a mistake. There's not one person here saying that it's stupid, but they had, like, you're telling me that Danny Briere just couldn't have wrote a check and been like, "Here you go. I'm really sorry." Have the kid reach out. I made a fucking terrible. This kid's life's over now.
Well, I don't think his life's over. I don't think it's that degree, but this kid, it's also his second strike, right? I mean, what kind of a fuck up do you have to be to get kicked out of Arizona State?
Yeah, he probably dabbled.
And I believe you get the whole, and there was the other kid's a lax bro. So I think you get that entitled rich kid nonsense, star athlete, little stink on it.
I mean, nobody knows because nobody was in their head. Nobody
Right. It was something that had to be talked about,
Yeah, you think he should have been kicked off the team for it? Or do you think that's the time that we're in? Because if they suspended him like 5 or 8 games, I'd be like, or the rest of the season where like, hey, I'd be like, okay, well, you fucked up and there's definitely repercussions for that shit. But
well, it depends, right? There's other factors like, does he have a history of being a shithead, right? Mm-hmm. Has he been a dickhead since he's been at Mercyhurst? Mm-hmm. Does he? I mean, there's so many variables, right? And I'm not saying that he should get the rest of his season turfed either. Like, maybe he should volunteer in a group home with handicapped people.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's lot of things
stuff that you can do to work your way up. Dude, this kid's probably not going to play in the show if he was playing at Arizona State Mercyhurst. So it's not like he's going to go to the NHL or anything like that.
Well, he can still go play overseas and make a living out of it.
Yeah,
Oh, hopefully in a perfect world, the lady forgave him. She gets a new wheelchair out of this, and he's learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
And we all go about our days.
Okay. Yeah, and also I'm not condoning people pushing wheelchairs now. I was just devil's advocate there for just a second. Kid can't play hockey anymore. I was like, oh, damn, like we did fucked up shit when we were younger, whatever. But I throw all that out the window. I throw all that out the window if the kid's just a piece of shit. If the kid's just a piece of shit and he's like, fuck this girl and did that, then you're kind of a cocksucker and you got what you deserve.
Well, we'll save it for the summer when the season's over. We'll do our top 3 idiotic things that we did and got away with.
All right, fair. No, we're not doing that. Connor Bedard stat update. In 57 games played, the next one has a stat line of 71 goals, 72 assists, 143 points, 62 PIMs, plus 39. Played in 57 to 68 games. That might have been a little bit outdated, but like
No, I think that was their season. I think they're in playoffs.
Yeah, he had a sick goal the other night where he just walks. He's
filthy. He walked through like 4 guys.
According to his mom, he's never had a fast food of any type. I'm fucking out on this, dude. Like, could you be any more privileged to say like, oh, I've never been to a McDonald's before?
He's probably never been to Taco Bell. Me and Connor.
You promise.
I will at some point. I have to clear the decks for that, man.
McDavid on Bedard. I would say he's probably a little more confident than I was at that age. He was at Biosteel camp going on a 2-on-1 with Crosby. He's shooting the puck and not passing it over. I'm not sure I would have done that at that age, but he's got a lot of confidence and he's going to be a good one. I
feel like that might have been a little bit of a backhanded, like, hey, kid, know your place.
I know, but dude, the fact that he did that's unreal.
Oh, the fact that he did that.
Look off Crosby on a 2-on-1. Holy.
What would be even better if he looked him off, too? It would be even better.
Yeah.
But I feel like Crosby would respect that a little. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that's what we had for Ked and Brownie. Anaheim, John Gibson passed Guy Hebert for the club record for all-time saves last week. Guy Hebert from Troy, New York, went to LaSalle Institute.
Is he from Troy?
He's from Troy.
You know, my dad grew up in Troy. We've talked about that, right?
We must have.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about something else from Troy later, off camera.
Okay. Andrei Svechnikov will undergo knee surgery and miss the remainder of the season in playoffs. He expects to make a full recovery from a torn ACL.
Oh, sad to see you're not going to be around for the Bruins run.
Yeah, he is a hell of a player, though. Dude.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's a fucking dick.
And he's
in a good way.
Dude, he's like, when you think Svechnikov, like, I think of a big player. Like, he's a big dude. Like,
he's not only a big physically big, he's a big moment guy, too.
Yeah. Fucking hell of a player. That's a huge loss for Carolina, especially because they didn't do shit at the deadline. So, fuck them. Sorry, Canes fans. Matthew Tkachuk posted his 28th multi-point game of 2022-23, which is only 3 away from the franchise record. Only 3 active players had as many in their first season with the team: Ovi, Crosby, and Panarin. This was also Tkachuk's 5th 3-assist game of the season. He also joined an exclusive club after securing his second 100-point season in a row. He became only the 4th player in NHL history to record consecutive 100-point campaigns after changing teams. Wayne Gretzky, Jimmy Carson, and Mike Rogers were the other 3 players.
That's a sick stat.
Okay, so I'm in St. Louis. I was going to save this for one of my heroes. I'll just do it right now. Right. In St. Louis, went ice skating. Had a fun, dude. It was actually really fun. It was like a disco night. It was just like,
like instead of like a roller rink, it was like at the ice rink.
It was at the ice rink.
Rental? Did you have rental skates? Those?
Oh yeah, I had rental ones. Yeah. So yeah,
and you were like, I swear, I'm a much better skater than this. I don't have my skates.
I literally had to do that, but like halfway through the fucking skate, like I definitely kind of. It's weird adjusting skates because in terms of like profile and shit, but like once you're on them for more than a half hour, you kind of fucking figure out.
Have you seen the movie Just Friends?
No.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. He plays hockey out in the West Coast and he goes back home to the East Coast trying to win this girl back. It's a great movie and comedy. And
that's like literally what happened pretty much.
And he has to use rental skates. He's like, these aren't my skates. I'm really, and they're all like, sure you are.
Yeah, it's sick. Fucking went skating and then they cut it. They fucking did an ice resurface halfway through the fucking skate. And went out to the car, pound a couple beers, went back inside. It was 80s like disco and shit. Yeah. It was mad fun. So after skating, we went to Obie Clark's. And I don't know if you know what Obie Clark's is, but it's like the St. Louis hockey bar. Like when they won the cup, they went there. After the games, the players go there. And it's not in the city. Like it's a little bit outside of the city. Yeah. But you walk in, you see all these like really cool like framed pictures of like all these ex-players with the cup signed like at Obie Clark's, right? So we sit down and I look over and there's this giant frame. And in the frame is Walt Tkachuk's jersey in the middle, Matthew Tkachuk's on the left, and Brady's on the right. And
that's awesome.
And all signed. And I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. Can you imagine being a part of a family and going to a bar and like you, your old man, your brother have your hockey jerseys hanging up?
Well, not only that, their younger sister, I don't know what college, but I guess she's filthy at field hockey, like a D1 athlete. Can you imagine like going home, like you meet this girl at college and you go home and it's 3-1 NHL. Is he a Hall of Famer? Big Walt? I think so.
Gotta be.
And then the other 2, you're like, holy shit.
I just thought that was fucking really cool.
Actually, speaking of the ice skating and the music and stuff, my daughter was supposed to go to a roller skate party for her birthday.
Oh, those were the shit back in the day.
And I was super stoked. Me and the father is a buddy of mine.
Not in the hockey.
He's not?
Not in the Hall of Fame.
The father, he has two brothers, and they all play hockey. And they were like, "Are you gonna bring rollerblades?" I'm like, "I'm renting quads. I'll bring my rollerblades in the truck just in case." But I was psyched to get out there. But then, unfortunately, the little girl got sick, so it's postponed.
Dude, if Keith Tkachuk isn't in the Hall of Fame, there's no fucking way PK Subban should be in the Hall of Fame.
Subban has a Norris. I don't think.
Who gives a shit, dude?
No, I'm just saying. I don't think Tkachuk has an individual award like that. No, I agree with you. I don't think PK Subban's a Hall of Famer.
I think somebody tweeted it out the other day. It pissed me off.
Oh, of course.
But speaking of Big Walt Tkachuk, he shared his thoughts on his two sons' different teams recently when talking about Florida. This is do or die right now. This is a soft team, and they're getting everything they deserve right now. Instead of trying to get autographs from Matthews or Marner, they should probably check harder. I know I sound like a frustrated person, but I know every time I go to watch Ottawa, they might not be the most talented team, but they're always going to play hard. Maybe Florida should take a page out of their book. Woo! I can't imagine the family group text after that one. Holy shit. Yeah. Brady's probably like, fucking suck it, Maddie.
Yeah. Well, Brady Tkachuk, I mean, he plays a different game than Matthew.
He's more of a heart and soul guy.
I was going to say the exact same thing. He's more of a blood and guts, heart and soul type of guy. And I think Matthew's more just a
I would love
Tkachuk
on my team.
Either one. I'll take the daughter.
Have you ever met somebody? Have you ever met Matthew? Like I know Matt. I've never met somebody who's like, yeah, call me Matthew.
I don't know.
Could be a red
flag. Think about that. I do know I worked at a bar that had a restaurant years ago, and the chef, he's like, "You can call me Chef Michael," and we were like, "All right, Mike." He used to get so mad.
See you there, Mike.
So mad. All right, Mike.
Speaking of Ottawa, more traction on the Send sale as actor Ryan Reynolds sold the cellular company Mint Mobile to T-Mobile for $1.35 billion.
Yeah.
Reynolds, who is a minority owner, stands to make in the $800 million range, which would easily bankroll him enough to be the majority owner in a group purchasing the Senators. That's fine.
And he's been showing up at games too, so I think it'll happen. I hope it does.
It'd be fucking cool.
He gets there, then there's the big spotlight on Ottawa. They can get the rink where they want it. You know what I mean? They'll get the financing, and they're an up-and-coming team. They really are.
Newly acquired Jacob Chitrin on his on his diet. I'm also eating raw liver, raw beef heart, doing all this crazy stuff. The taste is awful, but your body almost craves it when you eat it consistently because it's so nutrient dense. I mean, this guy is a serial killer. Unfortunately, he's now listed as being out a couple weeks due to lower body injury. Mix in a fucking Happy Meal, dude.
That was like, tell me you're a hardo without saying you're
right,
a hardo.
Dude. Yeah, how's that fucking raw liver? Like, okay, here's one. I would never be friends with somebody who consistently eats raw liver.
Well, that's everybody.
We're not going to share the same interest, dude. There's no fucking way.
There are so many people that bought into that Liver King dude, and then he was proved to be a fraud.
Yeah, he was just using steroids the whole time.
Yeah, he not only was he using steroids, he was shooting his cows up with steroids. Yeah,
that's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Arizona Coyotes minority owner Andrew Barroway has been arrested for domestic violence in Colorado last week, has subsequently been suspended by the NHL. The charges were suspicion of second-degree strangulation, a felony, third-degree assault, misdemeanor. He was in a verbal altercation with his wife that allegedly got physical.
Allegedly.
Put him away. Well, it could be allegedly, but
it is allegedly. We don't. I mean, he's not been convicted. He was arrested and charged.
Nope, not good. Yeah. Vegas, since joining the Golden Knights, Jonathan Quick.
These numbers are a little behind. So,
well, he had gone 4-1-0 with a 2.98 goals against, save percentage of .904 and a shutout. Now second most wins by U.S. goalie, trailing only Ryan Miller by 16.
All right, so let me ask you this.
That's crazy. Oh, sorry.
In their prime, Quick or Miller?
Quick, easily.
Yeah, 100 all day, right?
Easily. My biggest fucking eyeball opener here is how long has the NHL been a league?
1924, maybe?
Ballpark. You're telling me that there wasn't one better American goalie than Ryan fucking Miller?
Well,
like, come on.
For years and years, Americans got, it was mostly Canadians, right?
Yes, dude. But like, even back then, that's when like they didn't really share goalie shit. Like,
there was also less teams. They didn't carry as many goalies. The minor leagues weren't as big, so there was less jobs, right?
Ryan fucking Miller, dude. Jesus Christ. We need a new American goalie.
Yeah, Hellebuck.
But you have to be a good team to get up there. Like, that's the only thing. Like, actually, I don't know, because Ryan Miller's on the Sabres and they sucked.
Well, you still have your save percentage. You're right. In
Yeah.
that, the lasting memory for me of Ryan Miller is Lucic steamrolling him.
Yeah.
Forever.
100%.
Tommy Barrasso. Tom Barrasso is a U.S. born goalie who I think I would take Barrasso over Miller.
I would take Mike Richter over all of them.
Oh, yeah.
But Mike Richter can't be the best USA goalie ever. I mean, he won a cup, but like, Quick was pretty fucking good, though, dude. Quick in his prime was nasty.
I think I might take Quick over Richter.
In their prime, I don't know. I don't know. Because, dude, I mean, that fucking series against the Canucks, that Pavel Bure save, like, Richter was electric as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I got to follow up on that. I have one person away from Mike Richter.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Although I think he's getting into politics. There's no way he's going to pop on this fucking thing.
Oh, really?
He's a smart guy. Smart guy.
We had Maureen Murphy was a valedictorian. We had her on.
That's fucking true, dude. Connor McDavid became the first player to record 130 points in a season since Lemieux and Yager in 95-96. McDavid, 60 goals, 78 assists, 138 points, 72 games played, which is the most goals by an Oiler since Gretzky hit 62 in 86-87. He's also been very vocal about a best-at-best tournament for hockey after the World Baseball Classic. Everyone's talking about baseball. To see Ohtani versus Trout, that's why hockey's been missing for almost a decade now.
I love this new Connor McDavid that one scores goals and two
he's out of his shell, dude. Like,
and he shares his thoughts.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. He was like a robot before, but now I think he's kind of.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to give you the behind the scenes that I have a future on Tage Thompson to win the MVP.
Okay.
Is McDavid the MVP?
Yeah, dude.
Well, here's my argument. And again, I'm trying to justify it in my head of why it can happen so Tage Thompson wins. He has Draisaitl, who's also 100 points.
He's the first player to record 130 points in 20 fucking years.
But I understand. But he has Draisaitl.
I don't think that matters.
Do you think he'd have like 160 if Draisaitl wasn't on the team?
I know. I think the only way that you might be able to do that is if Thompson had like 125 points. Like he would have to be close. There's nobody close.
I made the bet. It was a good bet. But
the Flyers one other thing. Best of best tournament. We need one.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we talked tonight when we were texting. I was watching the Women's Worlds because it's best on best. It's awesome. So, what happened there? Hello?
I'm back. Keep going.
Oh, that was it. I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know if you were sitting still or frozen.
No, you left.
What do you mean I left?
It rebooted your thing.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, what I was saying was best on best, like Women's Worlds. I mean, it was Canada, USA, France, Switzerland, Japan, Finland all played today. I mean, it's great. It's what you want to watch.
It's what you need. Next one. The Flyers beat Florida 6-3 on Tuesday, making John Tortorella the 12th coach in NHL history with 700 wins and second U.S.-born head coach to achieve that milestone behind Peter Laviolette.
Yeah,
I love Torts, dude, because he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he does. He doesn't give
I think he very much cares.
He doesn't give a shit about changing his style or approach, is what I meant to say.
I don't think he cares about people's feelings.
Nope. Yeah. I think it's hilarious that he has his assistant coaches like coaching now and like watching from above, like as if these guys.
He's not behind the bench, you're saying?
No, I don't think he's behind the bench.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Pretty crazy. Remember this one later down in the podcast. But on March 25th, the Preds honored a legend, the greatest Pred ever, as a team unveiled a statue of Pekka Rinne outside Bridgestone Arena.
I mean,
we'll get into it a little bit. I mean, he
is the Predator you would think of, right? Face of the franchise. Roman Josi, maybe.
Oh, dude. Like when I think Nashville Predators, David Legwand. I don't know why, but that's just like a name that pops up.
Okay.
He was the captain back when they wore those fucking like stupid jerseys.
Yeah. I think of Rinne, Josi, Mike Fisher, maybe.
Weber. back when he was a fucking younger.
Shea Weber, yeah.
Andrew Cogliano played in his 1200th NHL game versus the Abs. The Michigan alum is in his 16th NHL season with a stat line 184, 259 assists, 443 points, 425 PIMs. Played with Edmonton, the Ducks, Dallas, San Jose, and Colorado, and he won a cup with the Avalanche. Shout out to Cogliano.
They love him in Colorado.
Yeah. And here's one. Brian Boyle retired. Hingham, Mass. 26th overall pick in 2003 draft in 871 games, 124 playoff teams. The Kings. Wait, what? Played
124 playoff games.
With teams, the LA Kings, the Rangers, the Lightning, the Leafs, the Devils, the Predators, the Panthers, and the Penguins. Compiling stat line of 141, 111, 252 points with 615 PIMs. Hate to see him turn into a bit of a suitcase, but I did also kind of like to see that. I'm pretty sure he, if you look at his career in terms of games played, he played the most games with the Rangers. So I like that.
I think of him as a Ranger. If I had to,
he was fucking awesome for us, dude. He I don't know. He got a lot of shit. He wasn't the fastest dude, and he couldn't fight. I remember there were probably 10 fights early in his Rangers tenure where he would forget that he had to drop his gloves. But he was and me
he was a big guy, so everybody expected him to.
Yeah, and Rex and I, we always kind of like the guy who's maybe not the best, but it's kind of an endearing kind of thing. We were big Brendan Smith guys, huge Brian Boyle guys. Yeah, he was fucking awesome. He battled cancer. He was his interviews were good, and you could just tell that he gave a shit. And that was
I believe he's one of 9.
Yeah, big fan.
And I think my mother-in-law taught most, if not all of them.
Okay, can we get him on the fucking pod?
Yeah, maybe. I have to ask her. I didn't even think of that.
You should.
Actually, did I ever tell you the story? I got invited to a skate. So when I was an EMT, I worked with this kid a couple of times. Great kid. He's younger. And we started talking about hockey and stuff. He's like, oh, you got to come to the skate over at the Burlington Ice Palace. It's a town a few towns up. And I'm like, oh, when's the skate? He's like, oh, it's Mondays at 8. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that pro skate? So I didn't realize that the kid I work with played D1 hockey.
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, there's some pro guys. I'm like, define some pro guys. Retired? Is Ray Bork showing up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Brian Boyle, and he brings some of the Rangers when they're in town. I'm like, I'm not going to this fucking skate. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, they are going to be so annoyed. Who the fuck brought this plug? You know what I mean? I go, if anything, I'll come to the parking lot and have beers with you guys, but I'm not. It was so funny. He was like, oh, you don't think you can keep up? I'm like, no.
Dude, I would have went to watch fucking interview.
Yeah, I probably should have. I never did. Then I felt like a loser just going to watch. But Boyle was there. Yeah. So
Boyle's the man. The IIHF has released a statement citing a detailed risk assessment that is not yet safe to allow Russia and Belarus back into the competitions for the 2023-24 season.
Yeah, because of what's going on.
Fair enough. The Big City Greens. The Rangers played the Caps a few weeks ago. The first kind of production as a live hockey game was rendered into an animated series in real time and virtually recreated on the ice at MSG.
I don't know this show, and my daughter doesn't watch it, but I thought it was a cool idea to try to get more people invested in watching a hockey game.
Yeah.
It's going to take away from, they still showed, MSG still showed the game.
I think if I had kids, I would have been cool with it, but I don't, so I thought it was fucking stupid.
All right.
Fuck them kids.
All right.
Rangers, fresh off of the suspension, Keandre Miller, he set a franchise record for the Rangers, becoming the first defenseman to register 4 points in a period.
I was surprised at that.
You would have thought Leach would have fucking done that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And of all people for him to do it too, it's kind of crazy.
Hey, good on him.
More Washington. Ovi passed Wayne Gretzky for most 40-goal seasons in the NHL, 13 of them. The Q announced that they will take steps to ban fighting and lumped the announcement in with hazing and said that they will take steps to ensure that if there's one clear instigator that the other player will not be penalized. Dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, what they did with the hazing part I found interesting because everyone's anti-hazing, right? And everybody's like, we can get rid of all this. We don't have a need for it. More stuff has come out about the Harvard women's team, some of the shit they did. It's all right, we moved past it, right? At this point of society. So that was like a Trojan horse, right? Mm-hmm. With the hazing. And then they were like, and we're going to get rid of fighting. You know what I mean? It's just, I understand to a degree because hear me out. There are kids in this league as young as 15 playing against 19-year-olds.
And don't play in the fucking league.
That's the remedy. You then have to say, I think if you want to protect the kids, you have to say that this league is now 18 to 20.
Dude, I'm telling you, you might be yelling old man at the clouds at me or whatever. I'm not. If I like ran an organ, I wouldn't draft anybody out of the queue. Because like you're openly going to a league where you're not going to have to get physical with somebody, and I want people on my team.
That's a fair point, actually. I didn't even think of that part of it. The ramifications.
Fuck that. I'm going to pick some dude who went to the queue so he doesn't have to get in a fight. Okay, bud.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Somewhere else. Jordan Binnington. Oh, geez. Yeah, this was weird.
This was a few weeks ago. We're behind.
Yeah, he left 5 goals in on 24 shots, threw a temper tantrum. Ryan Hartman kind of went across the crease, clipped him, then he fucking lost his shit and then tried pumping up the fucking crowd. So I'm in St. Louis with a bunch of people, and I already told you, I think the St. Louis might be my second favorite team if they had a different goalie because like I like the way that they play.
Fair enough. All right, yeah, fair enough.
And I told them all that, and they all kind of got it. This is exactly why. Like somebody told that Fleury was mic'd up during it and was like, "Come on, he always."
Fleury wanted it, yeah,
yeah, which was hilarious.
Actually, speaking of Fleury, this isn't in the document because I just saw it before I came down here. I think the Wild are playoff in the playoff bracket, and I think it's either 16 or 19 straight seasons that Fleury's made the playoffs in his career. Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's a winner. But yeah, Binnington, man, he was 22, 24, and 5, 3.39 goals against, an 892 save percentage. Like,
yeah, so
I don't mind a goalie who has a little bit of edge in him. Like, I think that is a good thing to have. But when you're fucking like Madonna about it every single fucking game, it's like
maybe we should just do that. Let's just start referring to Binnington as Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna. Like, bro, like fucking chill the fuck out, man. Chicago, according to sources close to Taves, the captain is seriously considering retirement at the end of this year. After joining the team this week for some honest practice, the captain was asked about Kane's departure. He said, "I was definitely shocked. All of a sudden, you see him in a Ranger jersey. It kind of looks good on him, to be honest with you. I hate to say it, but it is true." Taves, great guy, Taves. He suited up because he likes the Rangers jerseys. Suited up for Chicago and the Devils on April 1st and had an assist in 18 shifts, 14 minutes on the ice.
I'm glad that he's back.
Weird career out of Jonathan Taves because he was
at the end of it. Yeah, well, the last few years.
Yeah, dude. Like he was. I never considered him like a super elite guy, but definitely a guy you always want on your team who can score big goals, fight. He was a fucking great captain. But I want to put him in Bergeron.
He was like Bergeron.
Yeah, I want to put him in the echelon of like Stamkos or like Ovechkin, where it was like this guy's fucking nasty. But like I would put Jonathan Taves in like kind of a Bergeron.
He's a different type of player than Stamkos and Ovechkin. He's more like a Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah, heart and soul guy, 100%. And it just sucks to see what happened to him. I think he had like long COVID. There was some other shit.
He had long COVID. I think he's got, and listen, I know that's really horrible to start like trying to remember diagnosis.
He might have something else.
But it's some type of an immune disorder type thing.
So I don't know. That
shout out to him because I loved watching him play in his prime.
He played hard. The Czech.
Oh, dude, look at this. Go ahead.
26-year-old Marek Malinsky has put up a stat line of 37 goals, 14 assists for 51 points, playing for CSKA Sofia in the Bulgarian league in just 5 games.
5 games, he had 51 points. It's insane. Know what that is? That's a guy playing D-League, beer league when he's a B player.
I would say
he dropped down like 3 levels.
Yeah. And instead of like knowing that you're better than everybody, you're going hard every shift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hundo hockey. Yeah.
Sharks, James Reimer came out against the recent Pride Night jerseys, and the Sharks let him not wear the jersey for warm-ups while the rest of the team did. Cited as Christian faith as a reason. You said he seemed to contradict himself in his statement and then dragged former Nazem Kadri into the frame by basically saying, oh my God, see, the Sharks may have.
He did though in his statement. Horrible.
All right, let's talk Pride Night because that essentially this is what it's about. I saw that Eric Stahl and Mark Stahl also did this.
They also said it was against their faith, but then videos surfaced of them wearing Pride Night in years past.
Yeah, I think I don't know. My thing is I feel like anybody should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. That would be like my
Agree. I think if you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. But don't come out there and talk about.
You have to, because if you're asked questions, you can't be like, I don't want to answer this question, because then everybody's going to say
no comment.
That'll go over well.
It can't go over worse. So two things I have for you.
I have one thing after your two things.
Well, the Pope came out.
Oh my God. Okay.
And said there's a documentary coming out about the Pope. And he was talking, I think he sits down with like 20 people from different ages, different walks of life, and answers whatever questions they ask, kind of thing.
And somebody said, is it okay for NHL hockey players to wear?
No. He asked about those who use the Bible as a reference to promote hate speech and justify the exclusion of the LGBTQ plus movement. He said, such people are, quote, infiltrators who take advantage of the church for their personal narrowness.
Okay.
Pretty strong statement. I mean, they hide pedophiles. So
I think there's also a huge jump by saying. So you're saying because they're not wearing jersey, they're saying that they hate gay people?
No. I have no problem with anyone not wearing the jersey.
Not you. I'm talking about I'm not saying you specifically. I'm talking about the way the Pope said that.
Well, I think there's people that wrap themselves in the flag. They wrap themselves in the military. They wrap themselves in Black Lives Matter, and they twist the message and use it for their own personal views, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone can warp stuff. And I think that's what he was saying. Like the true teachings of Christ are not that. Okay. In the modern day, is how I interpreted it. I could be wrong. What the fuck do I know?
No, I get where you got there.
And then now listen, we have long established that I am not a Toronto Maple Leaf fan of any way, shape, or form. But what they did ahead of their Pride Night, I don't know if you saw this video. They brought in Megan Duggan. Okay. Megan Duggan, she's currently the director of play development for the Devils. She's won Olympic gold, 2 silvers, 8 women's worlds, 7 gold, 1 silver. She was a Patty Kaz Award winner and played pro women's hockey for 6 years. She spoke to the team ahead of their Pride Night and talked about having a fight. She was like, she wanted them to understand where she was coming from. And she was like, if you played pro hockey, raise your hand. They all raise their hand. If you played for your country, raise your hand. And she was keeping her hand up. If you're married, raise your hand. And then she was like, if you had to fight for marriage equality, raise your hand. And of course, they're all guys, all heterosexual marriages. So they put their hands down. Then she got choked up and she was like, if you had to fight to be recognized as a parent for your own children, raise your hand. And they were all, you could have heard a pin drop in the whole thing. And her quote was, it's difficult to understand inclusion if you've never been excluded. Which, if you think about it, that's pretty heavy, right? Mm-hmm. And my whole thing with the jerseys, and we're running around in the group text with all the other bloggers and stuff, it's not an endorsement wearing that jersey. You're not saying, hey, I approve of this. You're saying that you're welcome here in this rink. Mm-hmm. And in that mindset, you're a fucking donkey if you don't wear it. In my opinion, I will give one last thing. I will give a pass if with the laws in Russia, outlawing LGBTQ lifestyle and everything, and if you have a legitimate concern for your family and their safety in Russia, because it sounds like it's a fucking circus over there in a Wild West, then I understand that to a degree, and you can say, listen, things are different where I'm from. And I'm concerned for my family, and I don't want to talk anymore about it. Yeah. But for all the high profile Russian players that don't wear them, Malkin always wears it. Plenty of guys wear them. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents with the whole thing.
No, and I get where you're coming from. I think what you said, like, it's not an endorsement, it's the inclusion thing. I totally get that part. I don't know. I think people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do, in or out, one way or the other. And at the end of the day, it's fucking hockey, dude. Like, I want to watch hockey. And this might make me a fucked up person, but like when I want to watch hockey, I want to get away from fucking everything. I like being able to
escape,
kind of
escape, lose yourself in the game, right?
And for 3 weeks, all I heard about was this Pride Night every single day, and it was
right. And you could make the argument that it showed more light towards this topic because of them not, but there are people. I'm sure there's people in the NHL that don't support what the military has done, but they wear the military warm-ups. You know what I mean? It's the same. So
but I don't think that they have to.
Right. But what would the backlash
what's going to happen, dude, is they're going to cancel these Pride Nights. Like, these Pride Nights were supposed to be cool. Like, they were supposed to be, hey, everybody's involved. One person doesn't wear it, and all of a sudden, boom. Now it's like this huge fucking really negative thing. This guy's a fucking asshole. And then all the assholes on the one side go and buy all of his jerseys to make that fucking look even worse. And now you see other players being like, well, okay, well, if he doesn't have to wear one, I'm not really, like, he got attacked for believing that, like, I'm not going to wear one. So then that person doesn't wear one. And then it's kind of a back and forth. Dude, Pride Night should happen, but people should just shut the fuck up about it.
Well, I think you have to let the players decide if they want to, and if they don't want to wear it for whatever reason, just respect their opinion.
You're still having Pride Night. Like, you can still have fun. The Rangers had Pride Night. They didn't wear the jerseys. Everybody blew up for fucking 3 years in between.
But I think the problem
periods. It was nothing but Pride Night, Pride Night, Pride Night, Pride Night. Cool. Like, I'm cool with that. But like, I just still celebrate it. Like, don't let this fucking ruin.
Right. I think the problem is, like in everything nowadays, it's the vocal minority that raises fucking hell over it. So now, because of all this, now some teams aren't doing it. So now people
they're under the microscope. Now there's sports that just don't do it. Like, hockey did it. Not saying it's a privilege to have that happen, but that's cool that fucking hockey had that. And now, because if somebody doesn't want to do it, you're going to throw this fucking huge thing where it's like this person, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, the NHL has to protect their players, dude. Like, they can't just.
It's a business. Yep.
And now it's gonna be, now the NHL is this. No, like, they're this way because of everything that just led up to that. Like, if somebody didn't wear their jersey, okay, who gives a shit? We're still gonna have a fucking good time and party. Like,
it's hard because there's no. This is the problem. Everyone wants to make every issue black and white. And there's a lot of gray, and people have to respect other people's beliefs and opinions, and everybody just wants to make there are fucking people in the media that want to make their reputation on ripping these guys, and instead of focusing on the 21 guys that did wear it, everyone focuses on the one guy that didn't.
See that this is hockey culture, dude.
It's not hockey culture. It's just our culture, unfortunately.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, look at it, dude. Like, Rick Westhead comes up with a fucking different article every day about these heinous fucking things that are happening in hockey. Yeah, they're bad. Like, why are there can we have some dude that just does happy shit? Like, that would be.
Remember John Krasinski tried that during the lockdown? Remember that? The Good News Network or something?
Like,
but that's the whole media thing. The whole thing with the news, like, if it leads,
and it gets people pissed off, and
if it leads, it bleeds, right? That was the whole mindset. So, I mean, you're fighting. Know what you're doing? You're shoveling against the tide. You're never gonna. You know what I mean?
No, and now it's fucking. I doubt the NHL has Pride Night next year because they have players that don't want to do it, and they're gonna get fucked. And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna have military night, and people are gonna get all sorts pissed about that, and then they're probably gonna have to cancel that, which is like, okay.
But here's the other thing. I was talking about this with somebody at hockey the other night. Excuse me. Everyone's all up in arms about all these different things, right? And no one can agree upon it. And what is America based on? Consumerism, capitalism, right?
Yep.
Everyone fights to the fucking grave about ads on jerseys. Right? That's one thing everybody can agree upon. But the whole country is based on. So, you know what? Throw the fucking ads on the jerseys. I don't give a fuck at this point.
Yeah. The whole thing's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
This
is a nice story. The second San Jose story is a good one.
We're an hour into this one. I know. After 9 years in the minors with a handful of games at the NHL level, former Harbor captain Kyle
Cuolo, I think,
got his first NHL goal in his 16th NHL game. Pretty cool. Shout out to him.
Good for him, man, to fight through the minors that long.
AJ Greer was suspended with a high cross check to the face of Mike Hoffman. He got a game, and Hoffman went to like fucking Instagram or Twitter or some shit. Like, Okay, I have two sides of this. One, Hoffman, like you're kind of a little baby bitch for doing that. Like
Said right there.
on
He
the
whined
other
it was
side,
only for one game.
on the other side, somebody has to hold that incompetent, stupid fuck George Peros accountable. And it's about time that people are coming out and doing shit.
So he still hasn't called you back?
Fuck him, dude. And that should fucking tell you something. The fact that you have players fucking tweeting out videos pretty much calling you a dumb fuck, and they just keep him there. Did he get like fined for that? I wonder if he did.
AJ Greer?
No, Hoffman for doing that.
Probably not.
I mean, the Rangers don't get calls anymore because they came out with a letter. Or remember the James Dolan thing?
Yeah. Well, Mike Hoffman's also a Canadian, so.
The Bruins are flirting NHL history, third NHL team to achieve 60-win threshold. They've set a new franchise record for points, 123 counting. And that David Pastrnak's the only player in this century
look at this one.
To have 55 goals or more, along with 100 points or more, and a plus-minus of plus 30 or more. Pretty crazy. Head coach Jim Montgomery set an NHL record, most wins by coach in his first season with the team.
What's crazy to me, and I know they added some stuff at the deadline, but what's crazy to me is how much of a difference Montgomery has made over Cassidy.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have predicted that.
The guys can be themselves, dude.
Yeah. When we talked to Fink, remember? Fink was surprised, he wasn't like, oh, this guy's going to change the culture. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Kirill the Thrill. Expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks of lower body injury. Been plugging along without him. Matt Boldy's been going off 11 goals, 4 assists, and 15 points in 9 games played.
Yeah.
2 hat tricks.
Massachusetts boy.
Of course he is.
He is.
Sid Crosby recorded his 83rd point of the season, his 70th game played to ensure they would finish the year with more than a point per game for the 18th year in a row. The only player in NHL history with more is Wayne Gretzky did with 19 times. We have a new PIM leader in Steeltown. Evgeny Malkin surpasses Kevin Stevens, set a new record with 1058 penalty minutes and 1051 games played.
Would you have picked Malkin as the all-time penalty minute leader for the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No.
How many of those are for yelling at a ref and slamming his stick, being a baby?
I bet a lot of them are 10 minutes conducts.
Oh yeah. They add up quick.
Marty St. Louis benched Jonathan Drouin for being late.
Oh, you missed Letang there.
Oh shit! Chris Letang plays in game 1000, going 154, 532, 686 points, 691 PIMs, 3 cups. Also won 2 golds in World Junior, along with the Silver World Championship, along with his 8 NHL All-Star nods. Definitely Hall of Famer, I think. You?
Yeah. No, I was just curious what you thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never in the conversation for a Norris though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been a fucking really good player for. Really
yeah. I agree. It's just interesting. A good buddy of mine. Oh, my buddy who has the Pittsburgh. He lives in Boston and has the Penguins season tickets at home.
Yeah.
He wears 58 a lot for Letang in beer league. Yeah.
Marty St. Louis benched Jonathan Drouin for being late to a team meeting. He originally was going to send him to the press box, but due to injuries, the NHL made it mandatory that the Habs dress 18 skaters for the game. So Drouin sat on the bench for the entire game, fully dressed without playing a minute. The meeting was the morning after the Montreal lost 9-5 to Florida. Be a pro, dude.
I mean, yeah.
That's the easiest thing you can do to get yourself ahead in life is just to show up to things. That's literally all you have to do. That's how you get ahead. Like, what a fucking idiot, man. More Montreal NHL stars just like us. The Canadians regularly run a segment at games during TV timeouts where players have to guess the price of regular grocery items. At a recent game, the segment featured Cole Caulfield and asked him what a box of dried spaghetti cost, and the crowd had to guess higher or lower. Caulfield guessed $9.99. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Just shows you how out of touch. You know what I mean? Cole Caulfield's not going to the grocery store.
No. Josh Anderson's out for the regular season with a high ankle sprain. Anderson is expected to make a full recovery. No taking here. Michael Pezzetta with the Selly of the year after a shootout win versus Buffalo. After the game, he commented, "I don't know when I'll score a game-winning goal, so I had to celebrate." And it was a tribute to Tiger Williams. That's kind of cool.
You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Michael
Pezzetta,
he looks like the guy that shows up to beer league like with like the rattiest pads, you know what I mean? And just, drives up in a van, smoking darts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, smells like weed, dude, for sure. Yeah. He has a cornrow, but it's not on purpose.
We used to have a guy that played with us. What was his name? It was Billy, I think. and we called him Kerosene Bill because he always smelled like fucking kerosene when he showed up. That's how he heated his house, and he was always shit faced. We were like, "Oh, Kerosene Billy's here." Yeah,
That's a fucking funny nickname to have, dude. That's a funny fucking nickname. The king of Matthews Arena, he's in the pros. Devin Levi signed a 3-year entry-level deal with the Sabres. He'll jump right in as they set to join Buffalo for the last 14 games. Only player drafted outside the first round whose entry-level contract contains the maximum allowed salary, signing bonus, and performance bonuses. Pretty crazy. That is not the norm of the 7th-round pick, but the Sabres feel his performance in the World Junior, the numbers he put up in the last 2 seasons for Northeasterners earned him that compensation. As a sophomore at Northeastern last year, he was All-American, Hockey East Goalie of the Year, winner of the Mike Richter Goalie Award, and a finalist for the Hobey Baker. Career 942 save percentage is the second best all-time in NCAA hockey, only behind Collar Hellenbuck's 946 and 8 less games played. Do you know where Hellenbuck went to college?
Oh, I do.
I didn't even know he was a college guy. He also leaves Northeastern with a 1.9 goals against while facing an average of 32 shots per game. For contact, Ryan Miller faced 26 shots per game at Michigan. Levi got his first NHL win in his first start versus the Rangers in overtime.
Yeah, I watched that game actually just to see how he did. And now, how much do I regret not going up and being like, "Hey, man, you want to come on the podcast?"
He does like this weird like stretch thing in front of the net because his dad likes Star Wars. Did you see that?
So he does. It's a Zen meditation, and he does it during a TV timeout. And he gets, if you notice, he gets high enough in the slot between the hash marks, so he's not in the way of them scraping.
Yeah,
but strategically, he doesn't allow them to clear that high slot area, so that slot area stays snowy. Smart,
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think he's the future for the Sabres.
Yeah.
They say he's small, but he went to U Lowell. That's where Hellebuck went. UMass Lowell. He's still 6 foot. He's just not these, 6'5" freak,
Yeah. I like a smaller goal. I don't like the 6.
I think he's a good goalie.
Of course, he wins against Rangers.
So the Norris.
Yep.
I put this in here. Did you see Wayne Gretzky?
No.
Clearly, Wayne Gretzky has been listening to the morning skate because he came out the other night on TNT.
I say it's Hampus Lindholm's fucking Norris.
No. He said there should be, instead of the Norris, there should be an additional award. Let's call it the Bobby Orr for offensive defenseman. Because Erik Karlsson winning the Norris, who's the favorite right now, is a travesty to me.
I think so. I think it would be cool. What would be fucking sick, and this would never happen, but each team chooses the one person that they think would be good for the Norris or for the offensive, and one player that would be good for the defensive.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And then writers or whoever
votes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a much better way to do it. Because then some guy who's playing on a dog shit team but is out there eating pucks, and you know what I mean?
And I feel like people around the league would see that, but at the same time, dude, Victor Hedman easily could win the best defensive defenseman. You could nominate him for both the offensive and defensive.
So I did some stats here, buddy.
Can't wait. Sick chart.
Yeah, thanks. So Karlsson's way ahead. He's got 20 points ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
He's also a -14 on the season.
On a dog shit team.
Yeah. But here's the thing that gets me.
Charlie McAvoy's a +98.
No. Actually, this whole argument favors your boy. You'll like it at the end.
Well, it makes sense.
Shorthanded time on ice. Erik Karlsson, 21 seconds a game is what he averages. I don't think you should be in the running for the Norris if you don't average at least a minute.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if they'll ever do it because of the history of the game. But dude, honestly, fuck the history of the game. Look what they just did with baseball with the pitch clock and making the bases bigger.
Yeah.
Make another fucking award.
Yeah. Now I'm not saying that the top 10 plus minus because it's Matt Grzelcyk is leading the league. I'm not saying he should win the Norris, but I think you have to look at all of it. I think you have to look at plus minus. You have to look at giveaways. You have to look at takeaways. Erik Karlsson leads the league in giveaways.
Yeah.
So, your boy Fox, though, shows up on a lot of these lists.
Weird.
Adam Fox is plus 28. He's got 68 points, which puts him, I think, 5th in defense. And he also where was the? I thought I did the shorthanded time on ice. Oh, here it is. He averages over 2 minutes a game, shorthanded time on ice. I think that you could make Fox. I would be.
You can put Fox offensive and defense if you want to, dude. He could win. He could be the first person to win both the same year.
All right. Well, should I try? So this is what happens. I try to be nice to you, and then you take it too far.
All right, dumping. Oh, wait, one more. Wayne Gretzky stat of the week. Gretzky scores 1,000th point in just his 424th game at the age of 23. To put in context, McDavid has 843 points in 564 games played at age 26. So
people forget how good Wayne Gretzky was. And you could argue the fact that the rest of the talent around McDavid is watered down compared to Wayne Gretzky because there was less teams.
Okay. Yeah.
You can make that argument, kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
We also have an NHL player poll. We're going to save that for the next podcast.
Yeah.
So what do we got? Oh, dump and change?
Dump and change, bro.
All right, man. All right, so RIP to Lance Reddick. You probably know him from The Wire and John Wick franchise. He passed away at the age of 60. You know who I'm talking about? Black guy.
Yep.
Bald head. Yep.
Good
actor. Good actor.
Great in The Wire. Oh, wait. Have you seen Succession?
No.
It's on HBO. You should watch it.
Yeah, I've had people recommend it to me, and I'm like, why do I want to watch obnoxious rich people behaving like assholes?
Because it's fucking funny, dude.
Is it funny?
There's some serious parts, but there's a couple characters that are fucking hilarious. And it's not supposed to be funny. It's just like their character.
All right, so I'm not going to give any names here, but there's an actor on that show.
Okay.
Who, I don't know which one he is. It's not the Culkin kid. I know that. Macaulay Culkin's little brother. It's not him.
I didn't even know Macaulay Culkin's little brother was in it.
It's one of the Kieran Culkin, I think is his name. One of the actors.
I gotta look it up.
So there's an actor on this show who, when he started out, Chris Evans, Captain America.
Fucking hate that guy.
Why do you hate Chris Evans?
I just don't like him.
Why?
They could have had a better Captain America. He doesn't give off a Captain America thing to me. I just don't like him.
All right. Anyways.
He talks a lot.
Anyways, Chris Evans went out of his way to help this kid out when he was starting out as an actor.
Oh, I see Kieran Culkin. I got it. That makes sense. Okay.
So Chris Evans, who is an established actor, went out of his way to help this other actor out.
Okay.
This other actor is kind of a diva dickhead.
Can you let me know who it is?
I don't know. I don't know which one it is. And
what's his name?
I don't know. I know him. If you say it, I know it.
Jeremy Strong, Brian Cox, Nicholas Braun, Matthew McFadden.
I think it's Jeremy Strong.
Okay.
I think he's like a method actor, and he stays in character and makes just like life hell for everybody. And apparently, like, he's big time Chris Evans, and Chris Evans is like, dude, fuck off now. Yeah, just like, talk about biting the hand that feed you. So I have a friend who's friends with Chris Evans.
Of course you do.
Yeah, no, I do. So anyways. Oh, he's a local guy. So, all right. So back to this. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets, and he broke the news himself on the Pat McAfee show. Insider Adam Schefter then tweeted the story, quote, to confirm, and Rodgers clapped back on him at Twitter going, lose my number. Good try, though. I thought that this was great. The Winnipeg Jets got in on the fun when they retweeted the Rodgers announcement with a Photoshop of the quarterback in a Winnipeg Jets jersey, number 12, on the bench cheering on the team. It was perfect. I don't know who wears number 12 for the Jets. I should have looked that up, but it was a great, great picture. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Notre Dame lacrosse team come out.
College?
Yeah, Notre Dame, the college. The lacrosse team comes out to a player playing bagpipes. Sean Meehan started it back in the 90s, and they pass it down. They're like, you have to learn how to play bagpipes. And they lead out the team. It's awesome. Like, bagpipes are great. And they had a game, a spring practice. They had a game versus UVA, which was some top teams in college lacrosse. And the entire football team came straight from spring practice to support the bros. And the entire roster, the football team, was out there on the hill cheering on the lax players. So it's good. I always love that shit.
Yeah,
it's college teams. Darren McCarty, legend of the Red Wings, he hit the ring with Impact Wrestling and was powerbombed through a table by Bully Ray Dudley, who used to be Billy Ray Dudley back in WWF, who then commented on the tweet that he never was a hockey fan, bunch of fake tough guys, which then, of course, prompted George LaRock to challenge Bully Ray to a fight because George LaRock loves challenging people to fights.
I think George LaRock just loves getting his name out there.
George LaRock, he for a while followed me on Twitter. Weird. Yeah, it was weird.
He unfollowed you?
Yeah, he was off and on. I must have said something. The Australian, have you seen this? Australian scientists have created a mammoth meatball in a lab using a myoglobin gene from a 5,000-year-old mammoth injected into lab-grown lamb cells. The company filled in the gaps in the DNA chain with African elephant DNA. The meatball came out the size of a volleyball, but no one ate it as the scientists were unsure how or if the human body could digest the protein.
Somebody's got to try that.
Yeah, someone 100%'s got to try it.
You know what you do? Liver King, you got caught doing all this shit. We're going to
try this.
Forget about it. Go eat that.
Yeah, Jacob Chikrin. Go try it. Oh, maybe you and Connor Bedard could go together.
Chikrin probably read that fucking report rock hard. Oh, yeah.
I'm having trouble reading it because I have this impediment. So this story, dude, this one, I would love to try this. Nathan Firesheets has achieved immortality as he completed the Disney Global Ride Challenge while documenting his quest on Twitter. Firesheets hit all 12 Disney parks in 12 days and rode all operational rides, which was 216 in total. His lift, this is the order he did them in. Disneyland Paris, Walt Disney Studios, Shanghai Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, Disneyland, Disneyland California Adventure, Epcot Center, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then the Magic Kingdom.
Can you imagine how tired that guy was?
But he did it.
I know he did it. I would have been fucking exhausted. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way he was drinking during that trip. You can't do that.
No. And I will say this, no offense to this guy, but he looked like exactly like you would think. So shout out to him, though. But that's a fucking accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about running a marathon. I would be willing to wager that was harder to do.
Yeah.
You make that argument anyways.
Yeah. Rangers. I don't have that much to talk about. Patty Kane didn't play tonight. Maintenance day to day.
Is that just a load management deal?
I think so. I'm okay with it. Like, he might be a little bit banged up, but if he's a little bit banged up, whatever. Ryan Lindgren returned to the lineup. If you guys get a chance, go to our YouTube channel, Jacob Trouba Hits. And
I feel like he darkened his hair while he was out.
He looks fucking sick, dude. That guy didn't even think about shaving.
No, but his hair, was it my imagination or does his hair look darker?
A little bit darker.
He's not. He's just spending time working out. He's like Clubber Lang in Rocky 3. He's down in the basement doing pull-ups on ropes.
Lindgren's sick, and he got into it with Killorn and Sorelli. It's nice to have him back, dude. Very
I like Lindgren a lot.
Jacob Trouba won the Mr. Ranger Award, which I thought was pretty fucking cool.
What's that?
It's just an award that they hand out who like best exemplifies being a Ranger.
He looked like he got a concussion tonight.
Yeah, hopefully not. Load management though, get him healthy. What was I gonna say? I think Monday when they played the Sabres, they're doing the Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award, so that'll be kind of cool. That's always one of my favorite nights of the year. That award goes out to somebody who best exemplifies like perseverance and shit like that.
Yep. I got those written down for the Bruins too. Yeah.
So that'll be fucking cool. Capo Kakos, I think, scored in his last 4 games.
He had a nice goal tonight.
Tyler Mott had a couple tonight. Tyler Mott's chipping in. Our fourth line looks good.
So once again, I was in and out of this game because I was watching something else too. I was back and forth. I only heard Zibanejad's name on the power play.
He actually had a really sick. Well, it was almost a goal. Odd man rush. Adam Fox passed it to him. And he had to kind of reach behind to get to the puck, and Hedman's in front of him. Yeah. Put it between his legs, went backhand, and it went off the post, hit the back of Vasilevsky.
I saw that. I saw that on the replay. Yeah.
That was kind of a sick.
I didn't realize that was Zibanejad.
Yeah. Dude, fuck the Lightning. I'm kind of fucking
100%. How about that? Hey, listen, you got to give some props to Chris Kreider. That backhand fucking deflection, Jesus Christ,
dude.
You shoot 100 pucks at me. I don't think I would do that ever.
Ben Harper, the Sheriff, finally dropped his gloves, dude. He dropped them twice tonight.
Did we talk about this when we were recording the fight he had with Corey Perry?
No, it might have been before.
So to catch
I hope it was before, unless we're really fucked up. But I think it was like
well, if we already talked about this, then this is the bonus coverage. But yeah, Harper and Perry fought, and he was making a gesture like rubbing his hand on his face, And I thought he was asking Perry if he was crying, and Ked thought he was telling him, like, again, another Rocky 3. He was like, hit me again.
Punch me, dude. Fucking see if he can land one.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the year, he wasn't on the Rangers. He got in a preseason fight. He got KO'd. I don't know if you remember that. Ben Harper did.
Yeah, I do remember.
And so he joined the Rangers, supposed to be a fighter. Guy's gloves have been cemented on. So I kind of came up with a thing that after he got knocked out, they sat him down like, hey, listen, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Like kind of seeing somebody for it. And then all it took was for him to drop the gloves one time because he was on the TV all night tonight chirping the Lightning bench the whole
He's a big fucking dude.
He's unhinged. Shout out to Corey Perry for even fighting him because
he's got to be like 6'4", 6'5", right?
He was so much bigger than Corey Perry during that whole fucking thing. Perry didn't stand a chance, and like Perry's older, so like I love seeing shit like that. I hate Corey Perry. He was going after Igor the whole game, but you have to like respect the fact that this dude's still willing to stick up for himself, even being that fucking old.
He's
like,
6'6". He's listed at
big fucking dude. Can you imagine fighting somebody who's 6'6"? How about fucking no, dude?
No.
How about no? Yeah, Trouba getting hurt sucks. Braden Schneider with another giant hit tonight, and then Ross Colton, what a fucking virgin that guy is, comes flying in, just starts flailing all over the ice.
I can't stand the fucking Lightning,
dude. And Eric Chernak, shut the fuck up, dude. But yeah, the boys have been good. Patty Kane had a sick goal, I forget, a couple weeks ago, where he almost had a fucking really sick goal, and he just missed, went back out, and then went short side. He's been
Aaron's goal tonight was filthy. Bar down.
Yeah. Tarasenko's fucking blocking shots, dude. I think the boys are kind of starting to dial up. And what was kind of cool is I know that we're not playing the Lightning in the first round or whatever, but I was wondering if it was going to be kind of like a playoff game. Like before leading up to it,
right?
I knew it was on TNT, and I was like, I really hope they don't fucking just blow an egg.
Well, I feel like the Lightning have made a conscious decision over the last week to 10 days to muck it up with everybody. When all of a sudden Pat Maroon is the fucking face of your franchise, then that's their getting ready for the fucking playoffs. I'll be honest with you. I wrote a blog about this because the Bruins played the Lightning and the Hurricanes like within 3 days of each other. They're the two most despicable fucking teams.
Yeah.
And
Penguins are up there too, though, dude.
I don't have a problem with the Penguins like you do, but I don't know how good a coach John Cooper is. Honestly,
I mean, you won a couple cups. You must be decent.
Right, but you also had, Vasilevsky looks leaky now, but he went from who do you have? It was Ben Bishop, right?
Yep.
And he had Ben Bishop for a year, and then he stumbled into Vasilevsky. Stamkos and Hedman and Kucherov have been there the entire time that he's been there. Yeah. It's not like he's had to, like Claude Julien did, like putting guys in different spots and trying to figure it out. I don't want to say overrated, but and the fucking complaining to the officials. Holy shit. The
Devils are like that too.
Who, the Devils?
Oh yeah.
I don't watch the Devils enough. They're so
nobody watches the Devils enough because they're a fucking irrelevant franchise, dude. Just like the Islanders. What sucks is all three of them are going to get in. I wish the Islanders would miss the playoffs, but if the Islanders miss the playoffs, that probably means the Penguins are getting in. And so Hal texted me the other day, and he's like, "Who would you want to play? The Islanders, the Panthers, or who's the other one? Islanders, Panthers, or Penguins?" And I was like, out of those three teams, the team I wouldn't want to play would be the Penguins. I would have no problem playing the Islanders and no problem playing the Panthers, but the Penguins would fucking scare me just because Sidney Crosby.
So your first choice would be the Islanders or the Panthers?
Panthers.
Yeah. I would go Panthers, Islanders. No, I would go Panthers, Pens, Islanders because the goalie for the Islanders.
That's what Hal said. Fuck, dude, the guy has one good year, and you think all you have to do to beat the Islanders is score 3 goals. You're telling me that your team can't score 3 goals in a 4 best?
Are they getting Barzal back for the playoffs?
Probably not.
Yeah.
And even with Barzal there, they don't score goals, dude. They play boring fucking hockey. Biz gets roasted for that all the time by the fucking stupid Islanders fans. Like, they are a boring team. Nobody on planet Earth outside of Islanders fans turns on the TV and is like, "Oh fuck yeah, the Islanders are on." You know what I mean? Like, I can at least say that with the Bruins. I can say that about a lot of teams if they're on. Yeah, like, okay, fuck yeah, the Flames are on. Like, I can watch this game. Somebody's going to muck it up. The Lightning are on. At least they're talented. The Islanders are on. Do you think there's one person who's like, wow, I can't wait to watch?
I feel the same way about Carolina. I don't want to watch Carolina play either.
See, I don't mind watching Carolina because they're fast and they move the puck really well. Like, that's kind of fun to watch. You Yeah, dude, I can't wait to watch 60 minutes of hockey where each team's going to have 18 shots on goal, and I have to look at Brock Nelson's ugly fucking face and hear Butch Goring the whole time moan.
Oh,
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, fair.
It's talking Rangers, talking Rags. All right, Bees, dude.
I'm going to buzz through this because a lot of this stuff is outdated now. Just trying to pick and choose.
Buzz through. I'm grabbing my tin. I'll be right back. I can hear you.
Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron became the franchise leaders in the most times factoring into the same goal. They've done it 407 times, past the previous record holders Phil Esposito and Ken Hodge. They also joined Johnny Bucyk as the only players in team history with a team record 10 consecutive 20-goal seasons. Thought that was a pretty good stat.
Crazy.
Marchand has deactivated his Twitter for the playoff run, but he is not shy about sharing his opinion every time a microphone is put in front of him. He manned the mic after practice to give updates on players in place of Montgomery. When asked about Foligno, Marchand said, "Still old, still bald." And then after the trade deadline, they asked him about the team. He goes, "I love everyone in the league now. All the guys I hate are now on our team." So he's just a funny fucking guy.
It seems like a cool room, dude. It just seems like a cool room, like a hockey room to be in. Like,
there was a clip that came out because Bertuzzi, people have been around here have been questioning Bertuzzi, like his fucking body language. It's the stupidest fucking thing, right?
Is it not good?
No, I don't know. They like, oh, he seems like I'm like, that's just the way he fucking holds himself. You know what I mean?
Has he played well?
Yeah, I think he's been great. But there was a video clip that went out where he was, after the game, he was talking, he was like giving the puck to somebody, and he's like standing up there and he's like, okay, so, and someone said something, like another player, and he turned around and he's like, "Hey, I'm fucking talking." And they all just burst out laughing. Like, he is fitting great. And then he has that big smile with the no teeth, you know. Actually, Taylor Hall skated to practice today with a regular jersey on.
Of course he did. Is this okay? You hate the Lightnings, but your franchise is nothing but the Lightning, dude.
My franchise that I root for does not complain to the refs like the Lightning. Yeah, they don't do that. No. And Jim Montgomery just shakes his head and maybe laughs. He doesn't flip out on the bench. But anyways,
listen, your players and your bench might not do that, but the dude who's calling your game certainly does.
That's fine.
That probably evens out there. And then the whole, I'm going to put somebody on the IR and he's not really hurt. That's classic.
He was hurt.
So now we're going to have this new fucking guy coming in, the fucking mayor of Boston.
The Bruins third line for the playoffs is going to be Charlie Coyle in between Bertuzzi and Taylor fucking Hall. I mean, come on.
And then what do you got? The check line?
The checkmates will be the second line. You got Bergeron, Marchand, and DeBrusk.
Checkmates, a check line. All right.
Either one. And then
you boss people love that fucking lovey-dovey Swayman, Allmark hug.
Like, I love that. The Huggy Bears. The Huggy Bears.
So okay, Huggy Bears. Have you ever seen a t-shirt for that?
No, we should make them because that was my idea, Huggy Bears. I came up with that.
Dude, we could definitely fucking get a t-shirt made of like a bear kind of like going like this. We probably can't use the Bruins logo, but we could put like a black and gold jersey on it with nothing else, but a bear like going like this, like it says Huggy
You could
Bears.
say Boston on the jerseys. You'd have two bears coming at each other.
That could be a genius fucking idea. I cannot believe nobody's ever done that before.
Yeah, well, they do. They have. I saw one out where it's two goalies hugging. What was I going to say? What were we talking about? The fourth line. The fourth line is going to be. It's going to be Nosek, and then it's going to be a dogfight. It could be Foligno, Hathaway. I think it's Hathaway.
Hathaway's definitely playing.
I think it's Hathaway and Nosek, and then there's like 5 guys for that third spot.
So who are the 5 guys? You got Freddie.
You got Frederick. You got Foligno. You got Jacob Lacko, and and AJ Greer.
Oh,
those are your 4 guys.
I mean, you got to go with AJ Greer because he's been a Bruins fan ever since he came out of,
I understand that sentiment, but I think it's going to be Foligno and Trent Frederick. Fuck with Bergeron. You see Frederick one punch.
Yeah, that
was fucking great.
I have a Freddie story for you off.
All right. And then like you were talking about the Rangers, the Bruins did their season award winners. The Johnny Bucyk Award, presented by Johnny Bucyk to the Bruin with the greatest off-ice charitable contributions, was Patrice Bergeron. The Eddie Shore Award, which was presented by the Gallery Gods to the player who demonstrated exceptional hustle and determination, Charlie Coyle.
I have a question about Eddie Shore, dude. Isn't Eddie Shore the dude who slashed the other dude in the head? Or was he the dude who got slashed in the head?
When? Eddie Shore played like the 30s.
No, a long time ago. I'm gonna look this up.
Maybe. The Elizabeth Dufresne Trophy, presented by the Boston chapter of Hockey Writers to the Bruin with the most outstanding performance in home games, was Linus Ullmark. And the 3 Stars Awards, presented by the radio station to the top performers in home games, Pasternak, Ullmark, and Marchand. And
all right, I'm about to have this Eddie Shore. Eddie Shore nearly kills Ace Bailey. Hall of Famer Eddie Shore was involved in one of the hockey's most brutal moments back in December 12th, 1933. Shore was hit by Red Horner during a game between the Bees and the Leafs. Shore turned around and looked to see who hit him and mistakenly believed it was Ace Bailey. Shore hit Bailey from behind. His head hit the ice hard as a result. Bailey suffered a fractured skull and was rushed to the hospital for emergency life-saving surgery. He barely survived the incident and his hockey career was ended.
Wow.
But a game featuring the league's top stars was held on Valentine's Day, 1934, to raise funds for Bailey.
Was that the Valentine's Day? Yeah.
At that game, Shore and Bailey shook hands to make amends. Shore was suspended 16 games. It was only reinforced his reputation as the toughest, meanest players in the league. I knew he was fucked up.
Ace Bailey, I believe, went on to be a scout for the Kings. I think he died on 9/11. He was in one of the planes.
No, dude, there's no way. That was in 1934.
So 60 years later. And if he was like 18 or 20.
You got it right. Wait. Oh, no. Garnet Bailey. Different Ace Bailey.
Oh, okay.
But you were right about that. Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. All right. Well, then let me do my quick Northeastern bit here. Because we had to say goodbye to the Huskies.
Yeah, okay. A couple things about this, okay? So I dove in. Like, I watched one of the games. I was a fan. When I created those playlists and got those videos up, and Ken did a great job of the graphics and stuff, I watched. I remember I was texting you. I was like, ooh, this is cool. And the game that they lost did they score a goal that was disallowed?
Yeah, bullshit call. So what happened was
bullshit fucking call, dude. NCAA type shit. George fucking Peros probably had something to do with this. And I'm fucking Carp and I are texting or tweeting at each other when he's on the bench. He's like, "This is bullshit." And I was like, "I fucking know, dude." Like,
so in the NCAAs, you can't move the puck in your defensive zone with your hand.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
But it's hockey.
So they're not even playing hockey. They're playing
like college football. You have to get 1 foot in on a catch. So what happened was Alina Mueller, guest of the podcast, friend of the pod, got hauled down. The puck was there. She kind of hit it with like the side of her hand, but she didn't knock it towards Chloe O'Rourke, another friend of the podcast. Mm-hmm. She didn't knock it towards her. She actually knocked it. If it moved at all, it moved away from Chloe and it made it harder. And so they got shut out and they lost to Ohio State. Actually, so Chloe, Alina, and Aaron Frankel, who was also on the podcast, are all at the Women's World Championships. And this is so ridiculous, dude. This just shows how ridiculous my life has become. So we have these are international female hockey superstars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Chloe would be on the French team if they make the Olympics. Alina's been to 3 Olympics, probably going to another one, right? They're playing in the worlds right now on TV. I'm messaging them, wishing them luck. And they're like, "Thanks, Brownie."
That's cool.
It's insanity. So anyways, before I forget too, so shout out to the premier power forward of women's hockey today, Katie Knoll. Apparently Katie brought a bunch of players. I don't know who exactly was there. I only saw Katie and Christina Allard on the broadcast. They drove them to Buffalo, stayed at the Knolls, and then they ran up to Brampton to go to the games. And Coach Carp's up there as well. I was texting him during the game.
That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome. But the funny thing is they show them, and it was Allard and Knoll, and they have on Mueller's jerseys. They showed them for the Canada versus Switzerland game, which got super chippy at the end. And they were like, the commentators were like, "Oh, that's so great. Some of Alina's friends came from home." Like, it doesn't matter that it's one of the top, players,
right.
And Christina Allard coming off a knee surgery, she's going to be lights out this year.
Lights out.
All right, so the Huskies, Megan Carter was awarded the Elite 90 award for the third straight season as the highest GPA at the final tourney of the sport, which is a pretty cool thing. Smart kid. Dave Flint is the CCM AHCA D1 Women's Coach of the Year for the second time and was named New England Coach of the Year for the fourth time. Goalie Gwyneth Phillips and forward Alina Mueller were named CCM AHCA All-Americans. The New England hockey writers named Mueller, Phillips, Carter, Maureen Murphy, and Chloe O'Rourke as All-Stars. I want to take a moment right here. In my opinion,
Did somebody get snubbed? Did somebody get snubbed?
No. Well, I think Alina did. I think she should have won the Patty Kaz. But the fact that Chloe O'Rourke has never been one of the finalists for the Patty Kaz is a travesty to me. Because if I was going to pick a player from Northeastern, right? Leave the goalie out of it, right? But if you say, give me a roster player to build a program around, Chloe would be in my top 3. She's so fucking dynamic, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible. Anyways.
You should fucking is there a way we can get you to be a part of the New England hockey writers?
I have no idea. I can ask my buddy
Kevin. You need a vote, dude. You should see if you get a vote.
I voted at the Beanpot. I got to vote for the Beanpot, the MVP and the best player.
That's kind of sick. Under the morning skate?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a ballot. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I voted for Phillips and Murphy, who both won. All right, so Phillips was awarded the Women's College Hockey Goaltender of the Year, and Mueller was named the New England Hockey Writer MVP of the Year. This was awesome from Alina. This is ahead of the opening round of the NCAA tourney. I truly believe this team works for each other. They want the best for the team. Nobody wants to win for herself. We want to win this together, and that's why I'm very confident. I mean, she's awesome. And a great play for her tonight. This just shows you the kind of person she is.
She's the Patrice Bergeron of Northeastern hockey.
100%, dude. But she's probably got more offensive upside. She and Sarah Nurse were going for a puck, and she kind of gave Sarah Nurse like a chop on the hip. Nothing play, but Nurse kind of lost an edge, went into the boards. In the middle of the play, Alina spun back around and was like, "Are you all right?"
No,
I know you do, but that just speaks to her personality.
She should have chopped her when she was on.
So in the World Championships, goalie Aaron Frankel played for Team USA, who won 7-1 over Japan. Alina,
Keep the change, Japan.
Yeah, Alina Mueller played for Team Switzerland versus Canada. They lost 4-0, and Chloe O'Rourke played for Team France, who got hosed. They got wiped out by Finland 14-2, but Chloe factored in big time in the game.
I feel like Switzerland only losing to Canada by 4 goals is like,
yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. Their goalie, dude, Alina won the player of the game. They're doing this really nice thing. They found these 4 indigenous artists to create hockey sticks with like symbols of their nation's artwork with the flowers of Canada, and they present these sticks after every game to the best player from each team. Each team gets 1 stick, and Alina got the stick tonight, which was kind of cool. You could have made the argument for the goalie who faced 50 shots, but
at least you didn't give the stick away like Pierre-Edouard Bellemare did. Shout out, love that.
So there you go.
All right, Beerly, you got anything?
Since the last podcast, I think I played 3 or 4 times. I told the guys I would talk about this. I thought we were gonna have a goalie fight. What's today? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Oh no, it is Wednesday. It's just midnight. Okay.
Sorry. Well, I think we played Monday. I don't know when we played the other night, and the game got super chippy. We were playing a team that was a different level than us. They were above us, and they were fucking hardos. They were up like 5-2, and they were still like charged, like, going like, dude, fucking relax, right? Yeah. A kid got tossed. He lost his mind. Like, he took 3 swipes at one of our guys, like crazy. Like, what are you doing, dude? He finally got tossed. Ended the game. I was out there where I think we were killing a penalty, and the puck was down behind me. Down on our end, I came around the net. It got chipped up, so I went chasing it because I'm like, let's see if we can, So I go skating up, chasing the puck, and the kid who corralled the puck. He just stopped. And he goes, "Fuck you!" And I'm like, "Whoa, dude!" I'm just like forecheck. I'm like, I'm like, well, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Not you!" And he points. And there is a player on their team crumpled on the ice. I have no idea what happened. So the goalie goes charging out of net. I'm like at the face-off circle on the left wing. He goes charging past me, and I'm like, he's gonna go fucking jump our goalie. That's what I thought was happening. So I spin and go bombing back too. And and he was going to check on his player, but I thought and our goalie said the same thing afterwards. He goes, "I thought I was gonna throw down." He's like, the kid's like 20 years younger than me. Yeah, it was crazy. So I don't know what happened, but apparently I don't know if he broke his ribs. He got chopped. I don't know what happened. It was behind me. Damn. But the guy who runs the Boston League, he's like, "I'm going to have to go to Live Barn for the review." I was like, "Go get it, buddy. Good luck."
We got to pull that video.
Oh, we probably could find it. Yeah.
I definitely could find it. Maybe we'll pull it in.
If we're pulling the video, I had a nice assist. Apparently I came in 1-on-4 and I slowed down enough to let the even slower guys on my team catch up. Oh, and I will say this. Remember I got a new stick? Speaking of beer league?
Yeah.
And I tried black tape.
Mm-hmm.
I have not registered a point in 3 games with the black tape, so I switched it to white. Apple.
Oh my God.
I'm back to the white tape. Sorry.
It's not the wand, it's the wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything for beer league. I've been out the last couple of weeks. The only thing I've done is gone ice skating, which was a fucking blast. And
are you playing? Is your league done? Did you have your playoffs and everything?
No. So we're off this week because of Easter. I think we have a few more games and then it's going to be playoffs.
Nice. And when's your All-Star game?
I think it's the championship day of the weekend or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do that, but
nice.
But yeah, so that's what we have for Beer League Roundup. Don Moore's Heroes and Zeros. Boom.
Hey fans, this is Dominic Moore. I'm just going to take you guys through a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff here.
My zero of the week goes to Hockey Reddit. Those fucking virgins, those moderator fucking dickheads, man. Like I said earlier about Chitrin, there's no way I would be friends with any of those guys in real life. I would look at them, they would talk, and I would immediately start laughing. I cannot stand them. Like, we've now been banned from Hockey Reddit because we post our shit and they're like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what are you talking about? I did exactly what you told me to do. And then they played the semantics card and then like you're banned. And also if anybody ever posts anything from you, your website's banned. I'm like, so you're telling me nobody can ever post anything morning skate into Hockey Reddit? And he's like, no. And I'm like, and this is permanent? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, dude, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what the hockey community would do without somebody like you. Thank you for your service, and gave him like an emoji fucking thing. In real life, it would probably have been hands on site. Like, what a fucking loser.
So I wrote that article about the Lightning and the Hurricanes with that graphic I sent you with the dueling twats with the both of them yelling, right? Those fucking 2 loser coaches.
You just trolled the entire Lightning Reddit with
that. I put that article in the Tampa Bay Lightning Reddit, and it was up for like a day and a half or something. And then I got a message saying that I am permanently barred from posting in Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. Reddit moderators are the biggest fucking losers on the planet.
The women's hockey Reddit groups, they're so nice.
Dude, they're the kids who get like a hand job and they're like, yeah, we went all the way. But not when they're not like fucking college, like their entire lives.
Yeah. Reddit, I tell you, I would not know about Reddit or TikTok if it wasn't for you. So
TikTok, dude, that just fucking pissed me off. And then my hero of the week, softball season's it's a pro.
Oh yeah, I forgot you like softball.
We got softball season, and you know what softball season means? That means playoff hockey season's coming up.
Yep.
I'm playing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays softball.
What?
During the summer. Yeah.
How are we gonna fucking do podcasts?
Sunday morning.
Oh. So wait, we only have like a week. So we're gonna have to do one more podcast with the big NHL playoff preview.
Yeah, we could totally do that. And maybe even one week we do a couple of podcasts. Now that I'm home, I'm down to.
We got to go back. We have to do our playoff. Remember our bold predictions podcast? Mm-hmm. We're gonna go find that. I remember I did okay on one of them with Hellebuck. Hellebuck returned to form. I don't think Clayton Keller got his 50 goals though.
No, but Clayton Keller is almost, I think, around 100 points, or maybe a little bit.
I was right.
That's probably way off. He probably has like 70, but still.
Still, maybe I said 50 points. I don't know. I can check the tape.
What do you got?
So I only have a hero. I came across this story. The LA Dodgers. I mean, you know how much I follow baseball.
I saw this.
The team is committed to signing Andrew Tolles to a minimum salary so he can afford treatment for his mental health. Tolles hasn't played since September 2018 and was diagnosed as bipolar and schizophrenic. In 2016, he went from A-ball to the starting left field for Los Angeles in the playoffs. He tore his ACL in 2017 and missed some of 2018. In 2019, he never showed for spring training and then showed up briefly before leaving the team for personal reasons. The team has fully supported him over this time, including when he was arrested in Hong Kong for stealing food after losing his passport and spent over a month in jail. He's been in and out of over 20 mental health facilities since 2019 alone. The team has made no announcement over the signings and continues to sign him to one-year deals so he has insurance and the financial ability to seek out help.
I think the Bruins should start taking a page out of the LA Dodgers.
I got to be honest with you.
Stop signing Mitch Miller and start doing good shit in the world.
Yeah, I think this is a great thing, and I think it speaks to the LA Dodgers that it's not promoted and press stuff.
But it is.
But it's not. It was an article. Maybe they fed it to him, right? But they're not putting out a release.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that was 2018. That was in what, 2019?
This all started in 2016. This all started.
Been years. So.
Hey, and speaking of the Bruins, one last thing, you can make the argument outside of the Mitchell Miller thing, which was a big fucking misstep, right? But outside of that, Don Sweeney, maybe up for GM of the year.
Oh, I can't wait for him to win GM of the year, and then everybody's gonna be like, "What about Mitch Miller?" And then they're probably gonna have to take his award away from him.
But the signings he's made, man,
great.
Garnet Hathaway has come out flat out stated that he wants to stay here.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. So there you go.
All right, 3 stars.
All right, Jim and Mike, thanks very kindly. A nice weekend for you. As always, our 3-star selectors are stars of the hockey scene wherever we go on Rogers Hometown Hockey.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, this got away from me.
Oh, God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. So we talked earlier about the Pekka Rinne statue, and it is going to be statues for your team that you can see having happen.
Yes, people that are worthy of statues is how I took it. I did more than just the Bruins.
So I did a funny one for my 3rd star. My 3rd star would be a statue of Sean Avery doing the Sean Avery in front of Marty Brodeur. I think that would be a really funny statue. Maybe you want to put it by the Garden, but you put it on the train that only Devils fans would be able to take to get to the Garden. Like that, I think that would be pretty funny. So that'd be
pretty good. My 3rd star for the Bruins would be Chara.
Yeah, and that's completely valid. Completely valid. God is a warrior. My 2nd star, Sam Rosen, our announcer.
Oh, yeah?
Guy's a legend. Like, he's been senile for the last, 5 years, and they just keep bringing him back. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not that bad, but, me and my buddies, me and Rex, sometimes we say, oh, yeah, they just kind of, play Sam Rosen towards a wall. Have him call a game that way.
God.
But, he's great. He's been fucking – he's the voice of the Rangers, so.
Do you remember there was a announcer for the Celtics, Johnny Most, who had a horrible – Marlboro Red 3 packs a day and Scotch voice. He was like, as Johnny Most from the Celtics. If you listen to old Celtics clips, it's him. At the old Garden, they had a microphone up in a Ring of Honor for him. Yeah.
That's cool.
My number 2 star for the Bruins would be Ray Bourque.
Yep. I can't believe you want to be the number 1.
No.
Is that recency bias?
No. I just think he's the perfect human.
I get that, but I think actually,
I could go either way.
If you ask anybody, you go team by team, who is the one player you think of when you think of this team? And not just now, I'm talking all time.
Well, the Bruins would be Bobby Orr, but he already has a statue.
Oh, it would be Bobby Orr. Right.
Bobby Orr
would be right there too, though.
Yeah, but I think the fact that my number 1 won a cup here and Bourque didn't.
That's fair. My number 1 is going to be the Mount Rushmore. It's going to be Brian Leetch, Mark Messier, Mike Richter, and Adam Graves all together.
Okay.
When they won the cup.
Okay.
Why are you okaying me like that?
Because you're not going to have Lundqvist in there?
No. That's just a 94 statue.
Okay. But Lundqvist isn't in your top 3?
Well, none of these are going to happen. So I went funny, and then I went Sam Rosen. I mean, Hank, yeah, dude. If we're being serious about this, like, he would definitely be one of the people, but I'm just doing it my way.
No, that's fine. My number 1's Bergeron. Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this. I kind of just was thinking in my head about other teams, and I had some others. So for the Rangers, I came up with Messier and Lundqvist.
Okay.
The Devils was Brodeur because Stevens didn't play his whole career there.
Yep.
Anaheim was Getzlaf.
No, Korean Solani.
You can make that argument. I just think of Getzlaf as a Duck more than the other two. The Flyers was Bobby Clark. I know he's older, but he was, but like the Bobby Orr thing.
If Lindros had an entire career, he would have had one. But
did you ever go to Joe Louis Arena before it closed down? In Joe Louis, they have all like legendary Detroit players. They had statues in the concourse. It was fucking sick.
That's sick.
It was sick. I assume they brought him to the new, but I haven't been to the new one. The Oilers, I had
Gretzky.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it would be cool if you made it so like Gretzky was passing and had it set up so like McDavid was receiving that pass. Maybe if it worked out that way, if you could plan it that way, that'd be kind of cool.
McDavid gets a cup. I'm behind that.
Yeah. And then this one's a little out there. Who do you think of? And I know who you're going to say, but you think of the Dallas Stars. Who do you think of?
Mike Modano.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike Modano, but I think he might have had more games in Minnesota than Dallas.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I just think a Jamie Benn statue. Jamie Benn to me would be kind of cool.
I'm trying to think of like other good ones. I mean, this is a pretty good fucking question, right? Like the Islanders probably
Mike Bossy,
their captain, Trottier or Bossy.
Yeah.
Canadians.
There's so many.
Yeah, that'd be kind of hard.
That's why I kind of skipped it. The Jets, I know it's not true, but the Jets would be buff for me. But here's one, Chicago, right? It could be Keith, Taze, and Kane.
Seabrook gets no love. Crawford gets no love.
Put Seabrook in there. I don't think Crawford was the difference maker.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I could be wrong on that one. I could be talked into it. What was the other one? There was another team that we were just talking about that I thought of. You could make the argument that you could put Biz for the fucking Coyotes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done more for that franchise than anybody but Gary Bettman.
Yeah. It's like Biz like taking a shit and doing like a thing of shrooms just right outside the arena.
Or Biz in the middle of the bench opening the door for Shane Doan.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's
Colorado,
a fun thing.
Colorado, Patrick Lajo, Sakic.
I think Sakic. I don't think Wah. Wah would have been on the Canadians one, but I don't know if he would even accept it.
Hurricanes just their fans.
Justin Williams.
But I would just put their fans.
Fucking Rod the Bod. Yeah, it's one of those things like when you're in the parking lot, having beers. So hold on, I have some other ones here. Non-sport, right?
Okay.
No one has an issue with Dwayne Johnson. Everyone loves The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'd put the statue, but I could see him having a statue. Same with Keanu Reeves. No one has a bad thing to say about Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is...
Oh my God. Did you see that TikTok thing I sent you?
What one was it?
It was the lady who was the writer. She was the writer of The Terminator and The Matrix.
No.
It's in your TikTok messages then.
Okay.
It's like 2 minutes long or something. This lady apparently, this is going to get derailed right now. This lady, I could be completely wrong. I didn't do any research. There's no backup involved in this. I didn't do any fact checking. But this lady said she was the writer of the Terminator movies and the Matrix movies. And she said that the Matrix is the continuation of the Terminators. John Connor is Keanu Reeves. He's Neo. And they're sent back to kill because in the future, right, the machines take over, which is the Matrix that they talked about in the Terminator. You with me still?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't watch any of those like that vividly, I guess. Like I've seen them both, but I don't have like key moments of the movies in my head.
But the premise of the Terminator was that Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, was sent back in time to kill the mother of John Connors, because John Connors was going to lead the humans over the machines, because in the future the machines had taken over.
Got it.
That's the fucking Matrix. And then Neo is so that blew my mind. I sent that to like 5 people, and everyone sent me different variations of like the mind blown emoji.
Yeah.
One of my buddies, my daughter's godfather, he just texted me back. He goes, "Holy fucking shit." He's like, "I need to go watch some movies." Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. So anyways, Keanu Reeves. And then my other non-sport one was Prince. I think Prince is worthy of a statue in Minnesota.
I mean, Elvis probably has one, right?
I'm sure Elvis does. I think there is one.
The Beatles probably do.
I thought of the Beatles at Abbey Road, all the 4 of them walking, like.
Yeah.
You know, you can make an argument for Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
and then so I had some other sport ones, just a few of these. Tom Brady outside the Patriots Stadium. You can see that. Al Davis outside the Raiders Stadium, because he's Yankees. Don't they have like some
they have Monument Park, so that would be kind of a wash.
I had Joe DiMaggio and Jeter for the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean they have they kind of have those.
And then in Louisville, Muhammad Ali. I think if you can have a fictional statue in Philly for a boxer, then Muhammad Ali deserves one.
I thought you were going to say Secretariat when you said Louisville. I don't know why.
Like a giant horse.
Yeah, Kentucky Derby. It's not even. I got that way wrong. It's Churchill Downs, so I'm just a fucking idiot.
So that's what I had. The Matrix thing, fucking man, you got to go look at your TikTok, because I sent you the message. I'm almost positive.
I have to check it out.
I could be up till 6 a.m. watching these movies now if I start.
Well, guys, that was an hour and 50 minutes of your time.
Holy shit.
Big pod. We knew that was going to happen. But Brownie,
yeah, we knew it was going to happen. We'll be back to the weekly on the regs. So
hell yeah. We're going to get this
much more manageable.
I'll get this up in the morning tomorrow. I'll get it out live on YouTube. So, Brownie, anything else?
Oh, Calgary.
Jerome
McGinley and Lanny McDonald.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are statues.
I think so.
Here's my promise to Jenks, to Kenton, and all our fans out in Calgary and Alberta, the province. If they erect a Jerome McGinley statue, I will go there for the unveiling.
Why did you have to use that word as an adjective?
I don't know. Freudian slip.
You need to talk to somebody, bro.
I gotta wake my I gotta go wake my wife up. She's gonna be like, "Oh, are you guys talking about a Gimla? All right." Here, just put on this number 12 jersey.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, hey, God bless you, Jerome. Don't take any of that personally. I still would love to have you on the podcast, buddy.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna come on now. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.